And what I'm talking about right now is just that important. The difference between life and death. Not physically, but even more important than physical life or death. And I'm talking about spiritual life or spiritual death. I want to kind of do a couple things with you this morning, so help me out here. I want you to get any page you want to get out of your program. Take a page out of your program, and I want you to take the piece of paper, and I want you to just kind of roll it up like this. Just roll it up so it's kind of like a tube, all right? So you got a tube. Everyone has a tube like this? Okay. Doesn't have to be really thick. Doesn't have to be really, really small. Just kind of, like that. Now what I want you to do is with both eyes open, I want you to take and put the tube over your right eye. Don't press it in on there because you poke yourself in the eyeball. Keep both eyes open. Look through the tube. Now I want you to take your left hand, and I want you to slowly, out from the side of your face, move your left hand in over the front of your nose until you... No. You're not listening to me. Take your left hand over the front of your nose until it taps the edge of the tube. And slowly, with both eyes open, as you do that, looking through the tube, don't look at your hand, looking through the tube, what do you see as it taps the tube? Do you see, how many of you see a hole in your hand? Look at there, you did it right. So the object here is to take the tube, look through the tube with your right eye, keep both eyes open, don't look at your hand, just look at the tube, through the tube, and keep your hand in front of your nose until your hand taps the tube, and you should be able to see a hole in your hand. How many of you more saw that? Look there. Okay. All right. You can practice that at home, all right? Here's the point. Look up here. Here's the point. Every one of us, listen, every single one of us, when we were born into this world, we were born with an empty space in our life. A hole in our life. A gap in our life. Something missing in our life. And throughout life, what we try to do is we try to find things that will fill that emptiness. That's why people turn to drugs and alcohol and premarital sex and all kinds of weird and, sinful stuff sometimes. And that's why even people do all kinds of risky stuff sometimes, because they're trying to fill their life in a way to try to make it feel like, I don't have that emptiness anymore. So they're thrill seekers, and they go out there and do all kinds of weird, crazy stuff because they're trying to fill that emptiness in their life. And the thing is that there's nothing in life, nothing that you and I will ever encounter in this world that can fill that empty place in our life. The only one who is able to fill the emptiness is God. Are you listening to me? He's the only one who is able to do that. In the book of Romans in chapter 5 and verse 5, he tells us how he does it. Let's read it together. God has given us the Holy Spirit to fill our hearts with his love. You see, before you receive the Holy Spirit into your life, you don't have the ability to love God the way he wants you to. In other words, you can't even love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, all your strength. It's impossible. When you have the Holy Spirit within you, then you can begin loving God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength. But until then, you don't even know how to love God. Until then, you might not even believe God even exists. Does that make sense? When you don't have the Spirit of God within you, you can't even love God the way he wants you to.